Welcome back to 12's review of One Piece chapters. Today we are getting into chapter 1087. As you all know, Ichiro Oda took a little break. Oda took a break and for eye surgery. Now we're back at it, getting good with it, and we start out the gates with some amazing beats from the cover art. As you all know, I love my boy Ace. As you can see, he's dressed inside. I have ASL up here dressed in their marine fits. We get a lovely cover art from Ace feeding the not feeding but heating up a bath for the little Bara. So that's pretty cool. I like to see that. You know, that was pretty nice. But then we start off with the chapter. The chapter is titled Battleship Bags. Now, Battleship Bags was a weird title chapter name to me until we got into it and got our first pedal. So it starts off at the G1 Navy base. This is like a little flashback that we have at the G1 Navy base. At the Navy base, you see ships that's been punched into. Like you see a fist mark in the side of a battleship, and you get to thinking like, what the heck is going on here? So we get word that Garp, the Vice Admiral, uses battleships as punching bags. And not just Garp, but also Aokiji is being trained to use those same battleships by Garp to punch battleships and put dents in them. Man, that's crazy. That's their training regiment. I mean, I guess no one is born a hero. It's a strength that you have to earn. But man, oh man, that is a crazy regiment. As we all know, last time we seen Garp on Hachinosu Island, he was swinging down the Galaxy Fist and making his introduction, backstory and everything like that with Kuzan of how he got into the 10 Titanic captains with Blackbeard's crew. Everything was going wrong at the time. But we just see that it's time for Kuzan now, aka Aokiji, when he was a Marine Admiral, but Kuzan, to square off against his mentor, senpai, master, whatever you want to call it, role model, Garp. So we get back on Hachinosu Island, and the first thing we see is San Juan Wolf being sent flying through the sky. I mean, tossed like a bag. Battle bags, get it? Bags that you toss that. Never mind. As San Juan Wolf is sent flying into the water, we get to look at another 10 Titanic captain, Vasco Shot, the heavy drinker, and he shoots off a fireball towards Garp after Garp just tossed San Juan like he was a bag. The fireball comes in strong at Garp, and Garp uses pirates as shields. And these pirates he just put up inside the way just like this and tells them, hey, take this whole blast, and then chucks them away as well, as the island itself is looking surprised at all the heat that's been put onto people. And people are screaming out, oh, that's hot. Stop destroying the island. Garp's responsible for all of this. Hot. It's complete chaos right now as the one-man army Garp is taking on Pirate Island. As Garp is doing this, he get a call from one of the Marine battleships, Garp's per se, that's telling him that everybody's on board, all the slaves, all the wounded Marines are all on board. And once they get that call, Garp looks over at his prodigies, Kobe, Garst, and Helnepo, and tells them to get ready to leave. And it's time to head towards the coast and get on board the ship. Kuzan steps in and says, I can't just let you leave. And then we get the face-off between Kuzan and Garp, the stare down that just happens, a pure masculinity of people who just like to punch battleships. Mind you, that's pretty cool. If you can punch a battleship and dent it in, that's really freaking cool. But the stare down happens and Garp looks back and tells his 3 rising stars, his proteges, to head towards the coast and I'll be right behind you. As they take off, Kobe hears a distress call from a woman in need. Mind you, it's a trap. So Kobe falls for it and Garp realizes that immediately. And Garp steps in to save Kobe because he senses something is off. And out of nowhere, we just get a flashback to Marineford when Whitebeard got stabbed by Spider. Garp is stabbed by Shiryu, the prisoner from Impel Down, the ex-Marine, with his new invisible devil fruit. And once he stabs Garp in his stomach, Kobe looks on, shocked. Garp looks back at the 3 boys again and says, "Hurry, get out of here now." Kobe is froze and he says that it's his fault that Garp got stabbed. Garp simply replies, "Don't flatter yourself, Kobe. I was in his sights the whole time." This is very similar to what happened in Marineford with Whitebeard and the Marines. Once Whitebeard got stabbed, the Marines thought that they were good to go after him, and Whitebeard, once he jumped down, was still cleaning house. The pirates get all riled up inside this case and think that it's time for them to go ahead and take on Garp because he's wounded. And it's time for them to get that 3 crown bounty, 3 billion berries that is, from Garp's head. Kuzan steps in fast and tells them all to get lost. You have no chance. Even if he's stabbed, you won't defeat Garp. Then we get Garp and Kuzan face to face again, and they both get ready to throw a fist, a powerful fist. Garp's is infused in hockey, and Kuzan's infused inside ice. And as they go in to punch each other, they connect, boom, boom, right on each other's jaws and send each other flying backwards. As we look to see Garp get sent flying to the ground by his 3 rising stars that are all surrounded about him now, and pirates are all closing in, we get to see the Island fruit in action. Pizarro, the 4th captain of the Blackbeard Pirates, uses his Island fruit abilities to try to go after the Marine ship that we just heard the distress call come from, saying that they were good to go. And Pizarro uses his arms of the Island fruit to sprout out of him as he goes and tries to swing towards the civilians and the Marines that's all on board. And as he swings towards them, Kobe, once again, in the midst of something going down terribly wrong, is froze. And he simply shouts out, "Stop it. Please don't do it." Or something along those lines. Kobe's crying. He's just looked on shocked, similar to what happened to Marineford. And Garp simply tells him not to lose his cool and that justice will prevail. As we close out the chapter with that quote from Garp and that scene being played inside your minds, that justice will prevail, is being stuck and instilled inside of us now. Mind you, we did get a flashback of Kuzan and Garp as Kuzan wanted Garp to kind of become his disciple. Kuzan wanted to be trained by Garp because all the other quote-unquote true Marine Corps all did what they could to train Kuzan, and he mastered their abilities as fast as he could and moved up the ranks, and he's ready to learn something new from Garp himself. This is when Garp looks on and takes on a prodigy inside him. They're having a good time. The flashback consists of great memories until Kuzan takes on the admiral position, and we see a little bit of disconnect between them two, as Garp, you know, being Garp and the free Marine that he is, the freest Marine of them all, is telling Kuzan, let's go out and get something to eat. Let's get some lunch. And Kuzan's too busy with everything, so he tells Garp no. Garp repeatedly says, come on, let's get some tea. That flashback set up a thought in my mind that Kuzan might be a double agent still, and may be a member of SWORD, like I said in the previous videos, when we first got introduced to Garp sitting down the fist, and just my thoughts about how the recruitment went for Kuzan to join Titanic captains. I still believe that Kuzan might end up helping Garp and the rescuees get away safely. Mind you, Kuzan is somebody who goes against everything. When he was in the Marines as Aokiji, he went to the island of Ohara with the scholars and let Robin go free. He set her sail, he froze Jaguar D Saul. Everything just happened the way that he wanted it to happen because of his beliefs and themes. His true nature to want to be like Garp and be free and not controlled. Even though he did take an admiral position, he still holds those core values in his heart. And I really hope that Kuzan does step in and help out during this time. As that fist is coming down from Pizarro, it's not gonna stop. Garp is on the ground already, hurt. He's been fighting all the pirates on Hashinosu by himself. So who's left to help out if Kobe, Helnepo, Garce are all frozen or don't know what to do? It has to be the next man up. We're either going to see the guy who always follows Garp around, or will it be Kizaru stepping in and going against Blackbeard and his crew? Mind you that Vasco's shot, I think he's been taken care of. Shiryu got punched in the head and is on the ground bleeding. San Juan Wolf is tossed into the ocean. Who can help? Who can step up and actually help them out in a time of need? Even with a lot of these Titanic captains down for the count or just down and hurt for right now, it has to be Kuzan. Kuzan probably held back his punch. I mean, when they were training, it was no haki, no devil fruit ability. Kuzan said he can even use haki. So I'm sure Garp taught him everything that he knows to this day, except for how to master his devil fruit ability. So who's gonna step up to the plate? This chapter really gave me like those vibes again from Marineford. I did like get the sense that it was it for Garp. I hope it's not true. I don't think Oda will write off Garp just yet before Garp sees his grandson Luffy become the king of the pirates, or reconnect one last time with Dragon, or something happens. But I don't think Garp is going to die just yet, even with this stab wound in the middle of his abdominal section there. I want to see how Oda plays this out. Thank you for the chapter. Oh my God, it was such a good chapter. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Things are starting to really heat up. I cannot wait for chapter 1088 so we can see what's to come next. Hopefully we stay here on Hachinosu Island, aka Pirate Island. Cause I do want to see what happens. Who steps up to the plate that helps stop that? Who's the person that Garp believes in the most? Who's the person that Garp really, really, really thinks will step up to the plate? Who is that person that Garp believes justice will prevail in? Thank you again for tuning in to 12 chapter reviews of One Piece. I love doing these. please give me some of your comments inside or questions, or even just a thumbs up, a like, something like that inside the bottom, the comments, the subscribe, whatever you can do to help support the channel. Me and 16 are out here trying to do our thing still. But until next time, 12 signing off.